Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and that brisket, this is my brisket I cooked this weekend, and that is the pork butt that I cooked. I just had some of this brisket. I had some breakfast brisket this morning. It was really, really good, and I just had a little bit of that. And then it's time to talk crypto. Okay, so I was, you know, sometimes when you have a little holiday, you get reinvigorated. Well, I woke up deciding I wanted to piece together some more Gary Gensler videos to illustrate the absurdity of what's going on in all this. And so I have some good stuff for you, so pay attention. Here we go. First, I wanted to show you this though. The Eurozone inflation hits 8.1%, a new record high. And I want to remind everybody, I'm buying gold in my Glen account so that I have spendable gold, because we've got all these governments out of control or now they've been out of control for 15 plus years, and now they're reaping the rewards of what everybody knew would happen, and now they're all going to act like innocent bystanders. So all we can do out here, or what I'm doing, is I'm protecting myself by buying, well, I'm buying crypto dips, I'm also buying gold, I'm buying silver, but I'm buying my gold on my Glint MasterCard so that I can spend it if I need to. Now, the crypto markets kind of took off a little bit this weekend over the holiday, and we had XRP. Today, it's up 5.5%, up over 42 cents. And so I was kind of watching that. That was a good thing. And then XRP reclaimed its $20 billion market cap this weekend as well. So check this out. Just in, MoneyGram has partnered with Stellar to allow users to convert fiat USDC. You can see it all forming up, can't you, folks? All right. Then there was this, the Shiba Inu founder. Now remember, the reason I show you this stuff is because how much shadiness have we seen between Terra Luna and Shiba Inu, Dogcoin, all these things that are like really like what look like pump and dump schemes, half of them, and the SEC does nothing. But XRP is too dangerous, and the exchanges, XRP is just too dangerous for any of you to list. But you'll list Terra Luna, you'll list Luna, then you'll list Luna 2.0 once freaking people lose billions of dollars. But XRP, oh, no, we can't do that. None of this makes any sense, folks. And this doesn't make sense either. Shiba Inu founder Ryoshi has deleted all his tweets and blog posts. Well, wasn't that the same guy that it was going around a little while ago? Same guy that Vitalik Buterin was afraid to talk about, the one Laura Shin said was the shadow government of Ethereum. Exactly how many shady things around Ethereum do there have to be, Gary? And then this is the Laura Shin clip where she describes it.
Folks of the Ethereum Foundation who kind of controlled things in the background, but were never really named. How did you even find these people, and what is their power over the Ethereum Foundation?
Yeah, so this is toward the latter part of the book, but a lot of people also talked about what they call the shadow government of the Ethereum Foundation. And it's different people who wield a lot of influence, or at least at that time, because so my book ends in early 2018. So kind of in probably the 2017 era, this shadow government started, and there were a lot of people that were wielding influence in Ethereum, in the foundation, but were not necessarily people with official roles. And so a lot of people...
All right, and we later showed you the guy's name, as I recall, was Thomas Greco. Okay. This clip was going around from RizXRP. This is Hester Pierce and Chris Giancarlo.
Our lack of clarity. I mean, there's a big draw to be in the U.S., so we're definitely beneficiaries of the fact that we have the best markets and the best place to do innovation in the world. But we can't ride on that past. We really have to take a proactive approach now.
Nathan, I'll go to your theme of this talk, cloudy or clear. I think one thing's very clear and one thing's cloudy. I think what's very clear is the technology won't be stopped. The technology is going to march on, just as the internet has marched on. To think that the internet won't do to finance, banking, and money what it's done to social networking, transportation, entertainment, art, and information is just naive. It will. What's cloudy is what's going to be our official policy response in Washington. And I think right now that is cloudy. I think there are some that are in the vanguard of really trying to rethink this in very creative ways and thoughtful ways. And there are others that just see it as something to be suppressed, to be stopped. There I think those who are wedded to the existing way of doing things, whether that be regulators or policymakers, or in the banking industry or finance industry. But the truth of the matter is, I actually, from my conversation now that I'm in the private sector with traditional finance, I think the days of ignoring it or ridiculing it are over. I think traditional finance is moving in a big way. I think it's really still the policymakers where the jury is out as to whether they embrace it, as we did embrace the first wave of the internet in the 1990s, in a very bipartisan way between the Clinton White House and the Gingrich Congress. We embraced it in a very big way. I think if we take the same enlightened approach, that there are both opportunities and challenges here. We need to get the right regulatory framework around the challenges. We need to open ourselves to the opportunities. I think we could go into a golden age of free market finance, greater financial inclusion, greater access, and new relationships with finance for a whole new generation that has different expectations of their relationship with their money and their assets. So I think we need to open ourselves to the opportunities, create a framework to deal with the challenges, and get on with the job that we've always done in this country, which is face the future with optimism and encouragement.
Okay, well, here's the problem with all of that, Chris, is what you really have going on is what Digital Perspectives, I'll put it right here, let you watch this one first. This is what Brad Combs with Digital Perspectives put out. This is what you're really dealing with in the crypto markets. What you're dealing with is an SEC chairman who's compromised by the banks, and he's working for them. He's not working for investors, as he would lie over and over and tell you that he's doing. This is what he's really doing, is he's the gatekeeper. He's supposed to collect the tolls for the powers that be. Let me hit the refresh so you can watch this.
I'm going to make a point really quickly about this burden of complying with regulation. I have an interesting fact. I'm not going to name the coin, but I was talking to to someone.
Please.
Nope, it's not a big one. Okay. But nowhere near top 10. But this is a project, a startup. They have a coin. They're doing really good work. They're trying really hard. They did a Reg D. They raised under $2 million. Spent almost $500,000 on lawyer fees. That's not his. That's not just his fault, Gary. I think the blame lies.
By the way, this is Gary when he was in MIT before he became SEC chairman.
I think they're just taking advantage of the situation, right? I mean, this is atrocious. 25% or more of what you earned had to go to paying your lawyers just so you could comply. Like, they were trying to do it right? This is crazy. This seems crazy to me.
And as a lawyer, I can say that I don't want that outcome either. Like, I would love to see a more streamlined, clearer approach for certain types of startups. Again, proportionality, right? Some players can afford $500,000 in legal fees, and actually that's appropriate depending on the type of business you're in, right? But for startups that just want to get a token out into the world, and it really is like distributed computational infrastructure, right? Then
I mean, they did a Reg D, so it wasn't exactly right, But the point is, they were doing the right thing.
Can we get to a clear framework so that people can do this in a cost-effective manner without having to hire a fleet of lawyers to try and figure it out?
I think that you're correct that there is a cost to build trust in the system.
Central monopolist with another central monopolist. A lot of commercial banks aren't terribly excited about that. Maybe you're going to have to give some ownership. Maybe you'll have to give 50% of your ownership to the 20 banks that are now
to Jamie Dimon
part of this. I mean, there are other ways to build incentive systems. Maybe you put a native token in there, and you give them the native token. So there may be other incentive ways to beat the current monopolist.
Let me ask you this question. You know remember those Ethereum disguised whales that we're not supposed to know about? What did Joseph Lubin do in his secret meetings? What did the Ethereum people agree to in their secret SEC meetings? Was there a payoff there? Because he's saying that's the way you got to do business. Gary Gensler says that's the way you got to do business. Maybe you got to give half of maybe you can have a native token. Maybe you got to give half of your equity or half of that token. Is that what this is really all about? Because that's what I think this is really all about. I think that some of the Ethereum people in those closed door meetings, I think there could have been some agreements that maybe somebody gets this and somebody gets that, and they were allowed to go through. That's what makes sense here, folks. And Gary's the perfect toady for the banking industry to do it for them, to run this game.
And you know, but I, having been around commercial banks for a long time, they really are looking for ways to replace their aggregators in their back office, whether it's clearing, settlement, exchanges, credit agencies. But they are deeply understanding, because they are pretty ambitious and very good at making money as well. They deeply understand that every idea that's pitched to them is somebody who currently is small but wants to get big and gain market power. So they're also,
and Gary and his friends can't have that.
About how to ensure that there's a check to slow down your startup from.
Remember, Gary Gensler was with Goldman Sachs for 18 years. These guys don't want you and I in their club. They don't want a startup in their club.
Gaining market power 5, 10, and 15 years from now. They don't want you to be the next clearinghouse like the Chicago Mercantile Exchange.
Remember, folks, this is the United States of America, right? This is supposed to be like capitalism where you can, you know, grow and all that. But what you've got now is you've got this crony Wall Street stuff going on, and they have infiltrated all these government agencies with people like Gary Gensler.
Continental Exchange. They don't want you to be the next central node of market power. So you might share some of that with them, or you might find an incentive system.
See the problem, folks? And then, so I put together a couple of great clips. Now you watch this, Gary. No, let me see if this is the first one I wanted to show you. Oh yeah, it's this one. Watch this. Now remember, Ripple's being sued by Gary Gensler and the SEC. Ethereum's just fine. They're not being touched. Watch this. This is disgusting, folks.
If you're raising money from the public's anticipating some profit based on the efforts of those folks raising the money, that comes within the definitions of a security and the securities laws. And it's kind of straightforward.
So it's not the launch that we have. So we are going to start the Ether pre-sale in a couple of weeks. So the Ether pre-sale will be an opportunity for anyone to purchase Ether. For Ether is the internal currency inside of the Ethereum system, sort of like the XRP and Ripple.
Now, is there a big window of opportunity for people to get in, or is there just like a one-day opportunity?
No, it's something we're thinking of. It might be 45 days, it might be 30, it might be 60 days.
Okay, so there's plenty of time, sort of an incremental thing. So the earlier you go in,
the earlier you get in, the better a price you get.
Congress saw that was an opportunity to mislead the public, to sell a sham transaction, that the public could make a decision, the basic bargain. The public gets to decide on their investments as long as those promoters raising money are giving full and fair disclosure. And there's basic laws about protecting against fraud, in essence, lies about what's going on.
A person can buy from any number of different type entities. We may limit the size, the unit size of a sale, just to make it easier to disguise. So if you are if you want planning on investing several million US dollars with, then you can do that for multiple entities.
Working with one of the larger lending platforms where
I think you get the picture. The bottom line is anything that Gary Gensler and friends think that Ripple has ever done, remember, Ripple's been completely transparent. This Ethereum thing was born of lies. I mean, the whole thing, everything around it is lies. But that's fine. Gary's not going to say anything about that. That's just fine. And then there's this. Remember how they're always saying, come in and talk to us? I put this one together too.
Lending, or the tokens come in, work through, register, we'll figure out how the regulations work, we'll adapt where it need be and where appropriate to achieve the core mission.
In the United States, we have been clamoring for that. And frankly, I personally was at the United States SEC office 4 or 5 times in the years leading up to their decision to file a lawsuit saying that XRP, again, the digital asset Ripple uses in our technology stack, their assertion that that's a security.
Hey, come on in. Come on in. We heard Bill Hinman say, and Jay Clayton said, come in and we will work with you. I have to tell you, Jeremy, if someone such as yourself came to me today as a lawyer seeking advice, I would say, don't cooperate.
Correct. That's my advice. I tell blockchain entrepreneurs, hide as much as you can do, obscure everything that you're doing, just hide as much as you can. And that's messed up because that's what we did. We went in, we were maximally transparent. We said, here's the spreadsheet that you can download of a literally line by line of everything we're doing with our money. And all I did was get punished for it. No, there's no sense in which by being a good guy, you're going to avoid it. The SEC, they're lazy. They are lazy people. They don't care about catching bad guys. They care about catching people that they personally dislike or that are easy for them to catch. Okay, I mean, you can look at some of the actors in this space that have been, clearly selling stuff that's crap, and the SEC doesn't even go after them.
That's the United States of America now, folks. Hey, I wanted to remind everybody, Kava Network, they're one of my sponsors at Kava_platform. Give them a follow. Celebrate the Kava 10 launch with Kava team. This is a pre-recorded thing, but it's an interesting listen. You can go and listen to this. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and tell your friends and family that I served up some Gary Gensler and some brisket for breakfast.